Good morning, buddy. How's it going? Ready for the day? Ready for school?
But yeah, guys, my S24 Ultra day started off with these little fellas, some breakfast, then it was off to school with Austin.
All right, guys, so it is time to officially start the real day in the life. Austin, why your face look like that, man? Oh, we've got some cupcakes, so I guess now he's happy. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
But now to the important stuff. We gotta talk about this new S24 Ultra, and right off the bat, we gotta talk about the design, you guys. They switched it up and finally got rid of those edges on the sides. I've been waiting for years.
We just get rid of these little edges on the side of the screen and we'll be all good to go.
I'm not a fan of screens with like the curved edges.
I am waiting for the day when they decide to just go all flat.
They finally did it. You can all thank me. It makes using the phone just a lot easier. Watching content, it's just so much better because now you don't get those weird reflections at the bottom. Holding the phone feels really good, really comfortable. Now, I've got the titanium yellow. Not my favorite of the bunch. Now, I think gray is drawing a lot of comparisons to the iPhone's titanium color, natural titanium. But either way, having these titanium frames just is better for durability. Now, the corners are sharp, not sharp as in like pointy or anything. It's not pointy at all, but they're hard corners. So it looks very rectangular and I'm all for it. I love the feel of this phone. I love the look of it. Bezels feel small. I'm not mad at this at all. But of course, when you look in the back, you see the camera setup. It looks just like last year's. Whereas if you didn't have like this new overall shape, you'd be pretty hard pressed to see the difference between the two. Now, you know what, speaking of, let's pull out the S23 Ultra. So we've got both phones over here. And even with the S23 Ultra, the back was also curved. Now it's completely flat over here as well. Now, one thing I can't get over though is something about the color. Jay, give me a second, man. I gotta pull the brightness all the way up. And I know on camera, you guys are probably not gonna be able to see this in the best way. Dude.
Wow, less saturated.
You see the less saturation, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm not I'm making that up. All right, so let's just go into the Play Store. This is definitely brighter. This one can go up to 2600 nits of peak brightness for when you're watching HDR content. So those highlights are really gonna pop. I mean, it's the brightest display ever on a Galaxy, but it's evident that this looks brighter. Yeah, so that's just something I've been noticing. Like immediately when I grabbed this phone, I was like, okay, it feels a little bit more muted. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit more digging, some research to let you guys know exactly what's different here. And I'll give you guys an update. It's still a very nice screen though, just really different from what I'm used to with Samsung. Now, of course, we'll dig into this a little bit more, but we got a few things that we need to do today. We have a new series that we're starting. This is all from the P.O. box, and I have no idea what's inside of any of those boxes, so maybe we'll sift through them. But more importantly, I do have a meeting, a call that I need to jump on, and that's happening in a few minutes. So during my call, I took a few notes here and there, and I gotta say, even though I'm not a big S Pen user, I gotta admit, it feels so smooth to use it. I've got garbage handwriting, but now, thanks to AI, there are a few new features that can kind of help with that. All right, you guys, so I just wrapped up my meeting, and it's kind of crazy. Like, Jay was in here getting a bunch of shots in the middle of the meeting, and he had to be like a ninja to get those shots. So I found that hilarious. That made my day. But now we got to talk about one of the biggest selling points of the S24, and that's the introduction of AI in a bunch of different apps. Now, one of the AI features is being able to take your handwriting and turn it into, I guess, better looking text. So within the Notes app, you can now have AI help you align your message or whatever you're writing. So you can tap this bottom corner right here and then hit align handwriting. Oh snap. The whole time I was writing, I'm just like, man, I'm writing real crooked. So this is what it did. It straightened it, it aligned the letters, evenly spaced words, and it fixed the shape of the letters. Now, it didn't fix the shape of my letters because my letters are pretty bad, but it did all the other things. Now, of course, there's a ton more AI features in here. So let's talk about them. So the S24 Ultra here is packing the new Snapdragon Gen 3 processor, and that's going to be the big thing with this year's new Galaxy devices. There are some pretty nice implementations of AI here that I think the average person could really make use of as long as they remember they exist. All right, so you guys know how we are in a constant state of getting the studio together. So one of the big jobs that we're doing now is trying to figure out where all these chargers are supposed to go, what products they belong to. So there's now a feature called Circle to Search. So what you do is you hold the home button and then Google pops up, and let's just circle. Now, that's a pretty roundabout way of using Circle to Search. Honestly, you can just use Google Lens if you use it in that way. I just wanted to mess around and try it out, but we talked about it. Things that you see on the phone are all searchable. Are you serious? I've got like these fine scratches right on the screen. What? When did that happen?
You don't have a screen?
No, this is the real day in the life, Jay. I don't put anything on it. So right up here, I don't know, I must have had it in my pocket and something scraped around on it. Listen, I'm about to break the rule, man. I'm gonna just be like, yeah, it feels good in the hand, put a case on it. The rest of the video has a case. This hurts. And a screen protector. This happens with the iPhone too. I got a scratch right on the front facing camera of my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I immediately threw a screen protector on after that. And now I want to do the same, but I don't have one, which sucks.
P.O. Box might have one.
The P.O. Box might have one, Jay. You are absolutely correct. We should get to that video. So we got to work and started shooting some scenes for our new P.O. Box series. So stay tuned for that one. It's gonna be coming soon. But while it was cool to get a whole new series underway, sadly, we didn't come across any new cases for the S24 Ultra, so to Amazon it is. All right, so now it's getting late. Quick battery check-in. It's 2:55 p.m. We got 72% left, which is kind of wild. And what are we looking at in terms of screen on time? So 2 hours and 45 minutes, almost 3 hours of just regular usage. That is actually pretty amazing. Usually we're not anywhere close to that number at this time of day. But right now I'm waiting on some food to get here. And while I've been waiting, I figured I'd look into the whole screen thing. And the S24 is using the Corning Gorilla Armor, and this is exclusive to the S24 Ultra. This new screen or glass is supposed to help reduce reflections, and it improves visual clarity, reduce reflections like when you're outdoors, but it does look like it made an impact on how the overall screen feels. And I'm pretty sure that those differences that I noticed are because of the new screen or glass. What they also say about Corning Gorilla Armor is that it helps protect your phone from scratches. Now, we hear companies make claims about how great their screen is and how scratch resistant it is all the time. I'm sure in some lab, whatever test they run, it gets better. But when you throw it in your pocket or you forget what things you might have in your bag with it or whatever the case may be, in the real world, stuff happens. And I always say, get a screen protector and a case. And I don't think I'm ever gonna stop giving that advice. All right, guys, so it's not exactly a sunny day or anything. It's actually kind of foggy. Anyway, I need to get back inside, but we gotta see. So reflections, let's see if that's gonna be an issue. I'll throw on some YouTube. The reflections aren't bad. I'm curious though, like, was it worse on the S23 Ultra? Oh, okay. I get it. There's a difference. Do you see that?
I'm not too sure what it is.
So the difference is, I'd say it's like they toned down the brightness of the sky as it reflects onto your phone. I'm noticing the reflections of the trees far more on the S23 Ultra than on the S24. So it's way more muted. The glare is definitely not as bad. One thing that I am noticing though, is that it still looks a bit dimmer. So if I'm looking at like the wooden floors that their feet are on, it looks a lot brighter on the S23 Ultra, and they're both at max brightness right now with extra brightness kicked in since we're outdoors, and I still see a difference in brightness. So it looks like while it may reduce the glare quite a bit, it hits on the brightness a little bit. Like overall though, watching content right now, in this situation, this is gonna be the way better experience. But where the question is like in direct sunlight, we gotta test it out on a sunny day. Why are we at the East Coast? All right, you guys, so I just tried this new Chinese spot, and Your boy's disappointed because it came in this container and they chopped out a bunch of rice. All this right here was supposed to be rice. And I am so mad. So I digress. So I'm watching my guy Shannon Sharp. But one thing I wanted to call out really quickly, this circle to search feature is so cool because check it out. So you just got a random picture on the internet, right? Now, typically I would find a way to save the picture and then put it through like Google Images to try and find something. But with this circle to search feature, it makes it so much easier to just, let's say I want this hoodie here. Just like that, and it's Louis Vuitton. I'm not buying that, but it's really cool that you can do that now. There's a lot of gatekeepers out there who don't want you to know where they get certain stuff. This could change everything.
That's actually an easier way to shop. I want this and I
Yeah. All right, guys, so wrapped up lunch, and there's just a few other things I need to do today. One thing I need to do is get in touch with my barber. He's always super busy, so I gotta call and schedule an appointment early on. Now, here's the thing though. My barber only speaks Spanish. I don't know a lick of Spanish, maybe hola, you know.
How did you find your barber?
I just walked into a barbershop one day and he was legit. I took his number and I've been using Google Translate to talk to him ever since. But with this call assist feature on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it basically uses AI to translate a call in real time. So I'm gonna try and schedule an appointment with him. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna call, and then right here, I can tap call assist. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? I actually wanted to call you to lock in an appointment maybe next week on Thursday.
Así que en realidad quise llamarte para buscarte una cita. Tal vez la próxima semana el jueves.
Ah, ok, perfecto. No, me confirma nomás en un mensaje.
Okay, perfect. It doesn't confirm a message anymore.
Okay, I think for the most part, I understand. So that's the most important part, I guess. All right, so I'll see you on Thursday. This is great. I'm glad I can actually talk to you on the phone. You know, that took 5 minutes, but we're locked in. It sounded like he understood what I was saying pretty well. It's just that his messages came in a little bit weird. Curious if any of you Spanish speakers were able to hear that and see what was on the screen. Let me know if you think it did a pretty decent job. And now check this out. Phone conversations can also happen through text now, thanks to the new text call feature found with that call assist button. I immediately remembered using relay services when I was younger to chat with a deaf friend of mine. This feature completely streamlines that experience by allowing you to type messages on the S24 during a call, and it'll read that message out to the person on the phone. And whatever that person says will show up on the S24 as text. We're also getting AI features wherever you type messages, so you're gonna be able to translate text into a different language, as well as change the style of your writing. So if you wanna be more professional, polite, or even make a caption for social media. And you can also have AI check your spelling and grammar. Galaxy AI is doing a ton on the communication side of things, but it's also got its hand in other areas as well, like the camera. Now, the camera system isn't very different from last year. We still got most of the same lenses with big, beefy megapixel numbers, but one thing that's changed is the zoom lens. Instead of the 10 times telephoto lens, we've now got a 5 times lens with a higher megapixel count. And I'm overall very happy with the quality that you get out of these, just like last year, but with my main gripes remaining about the slight shutter lag when taking pictures, since it causes me to get blurry photos of the kids when they're in motion, which can be pretty frustrating. I also feel like it still tends to overexpose darker skin tones if you're not in the best lighting. Outside of that though, I've been pretty happy with the camera overall, from low light photos to landscapes, and the occasional portrait. Video is also solid, as you guys might have seen throughout this video, but there are some interesting additions on the video side of things, thanks to AI. Now, when we're talking about cameras, Samsung has added something here that I'm a huge fan of. Now you can get slow motion videos from just regular videos. So right now I'm shooting in just 4K 30. So I'm gonna record and just use the special mode here, and that should look good in slow motion. Yeah, now that looks like some slow-mo. All right, so Dom's idea is a good old bottle flip, right? So we're gonna try that. Hey, there we go. Right? Sign me up. Interesting. So basically what it's doing here is that it's using AI to take a regular video and slow it down, but also adding a little bit to it so it doesn't look bad, because typically when you just slow down a regular video, it looks a little choppy, it doesn't look that great. I don't know how I feel about this one. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty weird and I'm not quite sure it's a better option than just going straight for a real slow-mo video. But with the off chance you forget to shoot in slow-mo, you can always keep this in your back pocket in a pinch. Now, speaking of being able to generate images, you can also make your own wallpapers within the wallpaper section, and they're not bad. You are sandboxed into your options for now, but that makes sense. It's part of the official wallpaper section, and Samsung probably doesn't want anything crazy being generated through here. But it does add for an extra level of customization and uniqueness that I think we can all appreciate. All right, you guys. That's it for studio time. Now I gotta head home. Dom, I'll catch you later. Jay, catch you later. Let's wrap this up. Now my day ended with being back home with the family for dinner, and the phone lasted through the day like a champ. Battery life here is excellent, and I think I ended up with around 7 hours, which is bonkers during a real day in the life, because with my usage, phones don't usually do that. Overall though, I am very happy with the S24 Ultra. I've had no hiccups when it comes to performance, when it comes to gaming, browsing, anything that I could throw at it. It handled it with no problem, especially with those new AI features. I'm gonna be expecting a lot from this phone, but with that new Snapdragon processor, I think it'll only get better. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Let me know what you think of the new S24 Ultra. Are you picking one up, or are you gonna be waiting for something else this year? Let me know with a comment down below. Later.